someone actually coming to us and saying, hey, you know, I don't like anything you showed us. Can we build something custom designed? That's when my ears would prick and I'd really become motivated. So I found myself attracted to designing homes, really. Well, Designer Turkey is a brand that we established fairly recently and the reason we established the brand is because we thought now is the time that we really are going to give this design and build more emphasis.
We have a very smooth process thanks to the 15 years of experience that we have from Property Turkey side of designing and building homes. The most important thing is the first question that we ask, and that is, what is your dream? Once we have that loud and clear from our client, then it is our job to decide where, how, and when we can implement that. This entire process is really a team effort, and within that team, certainly the biggest player is our client.
You know, in certain projects you know the client and it's custom-made villas. And when you know the client, the things are easier because you work in collaboration with the client. Creating an environment for people to use, and they need to be comfortable, and you need to know their lifestyle, their background, what do they like, what kind of lifestyle they want, do they invite people, they are more introverted, extroverted, how they spend their day. This input and all these ingredients with the contextual data and the view and everything, and then you kind of write the scenario or compose the music, and you start daydreaming. So I like start living in my head, and then of course I test it with the computer or with the sketch. When I start 3D modeling, and then you see certain things work, certain things do not work. Step by step, it evolves. And then, of course, you keep the client in the loop, so make sure that he's parallel with the design process, and then you come to a conclusion, and everybody's happy.
In construction, there's always a problem. During the process, there are measurable problems and unmeasurable problems. Our job is to try to foresee that as much as possible and to make things happen. But of course, there are things that we can do and we cannot, and try to give whatever that client was expecting from us initially so that there are no surprises. When we get to the delivery stage and client steps into their new houses for the very first time, that's the climax. That is the absolute satisfaction to see in their eyes that they are in their new home.
It kind of brings tears to your eyes, man. It isn't just a business. It's not just a job. It's actually creating something.
You're being commissioned to realize somebody's dream, and when that dream becomes your dream at the same time, then it stops being work and it becomes an enjoyment, a passion, so to speak.
The journey itself is actually more emotional because when the property is ready, you've been in and out of the property by the time it's ready hundreds of times at different stages. So you almost, before you have the final moment of entering the property, those emotions and those feelings, you've tasted them, you've experienced them together with the client. And that's really the beauty of it. It's the journey more than the end product, to be honest with you.
Good architecture contributes to people's lives. And that's what it's all about, giving people another perspective. It was like a dream. It was a very special moment. It was an honor to be there with Zaha at the opening next door. From the artistic avant-garde studio, we became a commercially sound studio, and that totally boosted up my confidence. I moved to Los Angeles at 20. I studied there at UCLA, and then I was practicing at Frank Gehry. It was such an international office, people coming from all over the place. California offered me lots of opportunity to look at things in a different way. Following Los Angeles, I was in London designing for Zaha Hadid Architects, and that was another international office. It was a great experience. As you get older, you realize who you are, and the more you're exposed to different people and different culture, you become more aware what you're made of. Coming from this unique privileged island, that I realized that I have another perspective, I have another thing to offer, what I've been accumulating during the years. And having achieved these buildings, realizing these buildings, in 2016, I set up my own company, Safet Kaya Architects, and practice under my name and doing projects all over. Construction laboratory, student services. This one, which is Science and Technology Center, which is a smart building. We research on sustainability, solar panels, thermal chimneys with natural ventilation. And now we have upcoming open theater. And what is exciting about it, because it's a one-time unique opportunity to design a public arena like this. It's kind of a park, it's kind of an auditorium, it's a hard landscape composition with soft landscape. We're bringing students and people together for concerts, for graduation, and for night cinema. The inspiration is actually having the ground swelling and then forming this shell to protect from the sun and rain above the stage. I think just living in one city will be very dull and monotonous, and I think it kind of balances like a tripod. Currently, I am living in a triangle where like a London, Istanbul, and Cyprus, and they all offer different colors to my life. Cyprus, where I'm originated from, is always makes me realize that I have this unique perspective, but at the same time, when we're in London, you're always surrounded with the most stimulating current consultants and artists and the ideas, which is very enriching. And then in Istanbul, which is love, that is such a vibrant city. There's always 24/7 vibe where East and West meets, and you show up and you feel at home, which is, I think, is the magic. So having all these things, all these ingredients and lives within this triangle, totally, I think, is a good scenario for me. And when we're designing and being in the good mood, you know, whatever you live, whatever you listen, whatever you eat, it all reflects as a projection on your design. I like what all these things offers me as a lifestyle, as cities which nurture me, that I can reflect. Because it's an education environment, we wanted to make sure that we have an avant-garde edge where we experiment and try to show another perspective. And this gives me the opportunity to actually contribute to the identity of the university. And some of the projects is already associated with the university as their face. In addition, we have Nejat British College, which is a campus which we completed first phase, and we have second phase to go. Besides Cyprus projects, I have ongoing projects in Bodrum. We are doing villa projects in Gümüşlük, and we have another one which is in process in Bolu, which is 3 hours north of Istanbul in the Black Sea region. I like doing big projects because you have more maneuver, but I like doing small projects as well. I mean, residentials, products. With my architecture, I would like to underline that architecture can contribute your life and your mood, and at the same time it can communicate to his, it makes a change. It matters. On that note, I like doing projects which actually has the capability of doing the change.
Is there anything more peaceful than taking in the quiet beauty of the setting sun? As it descends below the horizon, creating romantic shades of red and orange across the sky, the world has a chance to breathe in and rejuvenate. Rejuvenate! What a word! I think if you were to put a price tag on the words, rejuvenate would be up there with the ones such as health, well-being and immortality. And aren't those what we always search for? That's what our client was searching for when he came to us with the idea of building his dream home. This is the story of the AR home. Istanbul often comes across as a huge and loud metropolis. Well, it's absolutely true. You would not expect any less noise from 17 million of its residents. But you can always step away from the crowds and cocoon yourself in nature. Our client first came to us with a couple locations in mind, and with a few phone conversations back and forth, we narrowed it down to 2 places only. One was Sapanca, beautiful place outside of Istanbul by a lake, lush green, and a perfect retirement place indeed. But what put him off was really the commute time, the fact that it was 2 to 3 hours away from Istanbul, and that was what affected his decision-making process in choosing Büyükçekmece.
So he goes, you know what, I like the Büyükçekmece idea. So that's why I said, okay, we should be focusing here, because you're not going to live here throughout.
When you take a glance at its rolling hills and beautifully groomed fields, for a moment you'll feel like you're in the countryside in the middle of Anatolia, so far away. Yet you're so close that with one look to the east, you'll see the towers of the city of Istanbul. There isn't a second location in the city where you can have a Mediterranean resort lifestyle. It'll take you 1 hour to get to Büyükçekmece from the center of Istanbul, for many a daily commute. And for those who fly frequently, the airport is a short drive away. And as a businessman from overseas, our client was very happy with Büyükçekmece's proposition.
So after deciding the location, we started talking about pretty much land options, and his concern was to having a land which would ideally, suit his purposes. So his concern was, would he be able to achieve that with budget perspective and everything?
Kajin identified 5 land plots in Büyükçekmece area, and we went to that place to film the lands, and we created a video file to send it to the client. And the client was really interested in one particular land, almost a square shaped, 3,500 square meters of a beautiful land with a gorgeous panoramic sea view, located a little bit on a hilltop, and with that we got our first thumbs up.
But the problem was that he couldn't travel. How could he possibly understand without physically being here?
You have to do everything online, right?
5:30 right now, as of we speak. Let's move on.
We created a virtual live touring system.
We are in a 2 kilometers range of the land. So we are entering to the neighborhood.
So what we do basically is that we sit the client on his chair at his home, and we basically shrink his body into a stick, and on top of it we mount a 360 camera so that he can look around and he can see, and then we basically take him with us into a journey to stimulate that he is physically there. Does that make sense?
Alright. So, if you would remember, with Aladdin, we made a drone shooting so that you could understand how widespread angle of view you had, and plus your neighborhoods. They watched it, the whole family watched it in fact, the daughters, the sons, everybody watched that tour where we made. I know we did, property Turkey side did this before with the properties who could, to the investors or to the buyers who couldn't travel, they would do this online. But I came up to you and said, do you remember the day? I know, I gave you a call around, I think, something like 11 in midnight. Allah, like, we need to do this, buddy. How can we achieve this? Where's the land? Büyükçek brother. Okay, all right. I'll bring the drones. I was like, no, buddy, we're gonna do like a live tour, and you went very calm and naturally, as if that we were doing this every day. No, buddy, we'll do an online tour with the drones. Do you remember that the GoPro fell over?
Oh my god!
In the traffic.
And at the end of the live tour, the client said, yes, we buy the land. And me and Kajin were like, boom, climax, right? We say, yes. A relief it was, but little did we know that our bigger challenge of designing the actual property was underway.
He sent us a couple of exterior photos and interior photos of here and there, randomly. And I think it was a house in States, a single story house. So, he said, can you do this? I was like, yeah, we can do this. I mean, we need a quite large sum of a land, but yeah, we can do this. I gave this to one of our architects. So the time came and the renders were ready. And after work, end of the day, we're supposedly to have a conference call and to show the design. To say, this is the end product.
This is the final meeting where Kajin is supposed to present the design that him and architects were working on based on the requests of the clients. Fingers crossed.
And the design was completely different. The exterior was completely different. The landscaping was totally something else, and I started to have this anxiety, panic attack-ish combination of something. Started looking for a psychiatrist. But and I asked the architect, what kind of a state of mind were you in when you actually were designing this? And he goes to me, says, I thought that this kind of materials would really look good to the house, which I understand. A very expensive material.
The reason why the design came out different from the first pictures that the client sent was mainly because of the land size and the municipality regulations. But upon seeing our design, he ended up loving it.
So, what do you think?
I love it. Let's do it.
Thank you very much. Then we'll get on to it. I'll speak to you soon.
Okay.
Wonderful.
See you.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.
I certainly had doubts. We had multiple obstacles. There were multiple, problems. The regulation-wise, clients' request-wise, but we pulled it off. I think I can say, mission is accomplished.
The accomplished mission was only getting the design approval from the client. And now, it's time for us to make this dream come to life. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In this one we're at the construction side of the AR home and the construction is moving pretty fast and as expected, and I'll be sharing you with the details of what we have done so far. But first, let's start with the design process. The house is being built on a plot size of 3,500 square meters. It has almost 1,000 square meters of enclosed area. The house is made up of a ground floor, first floor and a basement floor with a garage. A pool is situated in the middle of the garden and is accessed by every ground level room. The house is designed to obtain a high level of privacy as the high boundary walls are accompanied by tall trees that keep praying eyes out. This house is all about a CV. Expansive windows on the second level, multiple terraces help maximize the panoramic vista. The estate includes a large shed that can be converted into a guest house or a meeting room. The yard also includes space for future expansion for a gazebo or a lounge area. Disability access was important for our client, so we positioned the elevator here, and ramps along with handrails throughout, making the entire property accessible to all. The open kitchen floor plan on the ground level is one of the main features of the space. From the kitchen you can view out into the garden on either side of the house. Fireplace is the focal point of the ground floor, providing warmth and life into the open space. There are 6 private rooms on the ground floor alone, with 2 more on the top floor above with high ceilings. The main house includes 8 bedrooms, a perfect mixture of open and secluded space for functional family living. The top floor includes a penthouse with large windows to provide the homeowners with a beautiful sea view to look at every morning. In addition to other rooms, there's a luxurious working space that includes a TV den and office and library spaces. And now it's time for us to start building. We've started digging the land and excavating an amount of soil, and we have leveled the land and prepared it for the foundation stage. And we have erected the shear walls to keep the soil in place and making it ready for the foundation. And simultaneously, we have started working on the foundation stage. We've done the molding to pour in the concrete. Then the column structures have been built, and in the meantime we have prepared the basement. We have done the mechanical and electrical piping and erected the rough walls, and the installation stage has been completed for the sound and the temperature. The construction is looking pretty good, and we'll be sharing with you more details as we proceed. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next one. Hi lovely family of Property Turkey. Today we'll take a glimpse of a beautiful design by Designer Turkey. Our client had purchased this incomplete home, aka the Shell and Core project, and commissioned the Designer Turkey team to implement a design of their dreams. However, their story starts all the way back in Dubai. From the hot deserts into a world-class metropolis, Dubai is one of human engineering's greatest achievements indeed. But what are the components of a city? Buildings, roads, public squares? But what about nature, people, and culture?
Well, this was a really important move for them. There were multiple reasons of them choosing Istanbul. To begin with, the nature, the habitat, the atmosphere of Istanbul was really motivating them.
That's what directed our client towards Istanbul when it was time for them to look out for their dream home.
12,000 years of civilization history, a very diverse and welcoming culture accompanied with rich nature and center of the world location, Turkey was going to be their next destination to settle down for good. Istanbul has certainly appealed their senses a great deal more than any other city in Turkey. And within Istanbul, Büyükçekmece provided them with home options, from the windows of which they would gaze at a gorgeous lake and fertile lands. They purchased this incomplete home and then started the story of the HS Home project.
The design stage of the house was focused by the client. One of the members being an interior architect. We've came across of using some unique spots and features in the house, such as creating a void, a gallery area. We are in the entree of the house. This is going to be a void of 6 meters, and we've got a planned high ceiling of a marble. This is our living space, a huge one, divided to 3 sections. This part over here is the seating area of a 33 square meters. We have a lovely 89 square meters of a living area and another dining table on the right edge of a 25 square meter-ish. Our kitchen of a 19 square meters. Additionally, we're going to create a balcony, a glass covered balcony of around 12 square meters over here. We'll have an island kitchen, and all these cupboards are going to be combination of glass and good materials of different items. And then you go out to a dining area with covered glass outside of the property. What a lovely first floor. This is the first floor. This is the void that I'm talking about to give you the space. And this floor entirely is for the bedrooms. Right end the bedroom, left end the bedroom. Separately, all of the bedrooms are actually in different design than each other. We're not really sticking into one single line. We created a void with a bridge as well, connecting 2 corridors on the first floor, and we've used on that specific void a 6.5 meters of a Armani stone that can reflect a nice decor. This is the basement floor. We have elevator on our right side. We have a beautiful spacious living area, kitchen, guest room, driver's bedroom, and plenty of futures. This garden is huge, 1,000 square meters. Apart from its 45 square meters of a terrace, we have additional garden, a garage space for over 35 square meters for 1 or 2 cars. And then on my right hand, we're going to create a gazebo for winter usage and on the summer usage. The style is going to be a little bit different. We're still in talks, but we're thinking of placing an outdoor TV with a backsplash of a lovely stone, a beautiful table to have the sense of combination. And apart from this, we're going to place a jacuzzi here. We're going to create a lovely pool, and hopefully by the end of all this, this is going to be a beautiful house over 909 square meters. Stay tuned.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. We're here with another update video, and Kajin and I are gonna talk about this beautiful project that's behind us that we as Designer Turkey are undertaking, the full-on renovation of it. Talk to me about this project. How did the idea come to be and what are we doing here?
Well, client initially wanted to live in Istanbul and we started searching on villas around the city. As they didn't have enough time wait for a design and build, we came across to this opportunity, Shell & Co building, and we took a full renovation of it.
Right.
And now we're at this stage currently. We'll be delivering hopefully very soon.
What is a Shell & Core?
It means an incomplete house. It means the raw construction has been built, but no infrastructure been made. The rough work. Apart from everything is complete.
In this area, when I look towards this side, I'm seeing a lot of similar Shell & Core projects that are waiting to be done. Is that how our house used to look like?
Absolutely. If you look just across you, there is a completed version of it.
Right.
And there are also still incomplete houses waiting to be purchased. The idea here is that to give the client their own taste. So
Right.
they have their own taste of design of their houses and change their room setups and etc. rather than, having a ready villa, which, really restricts you with selections.
Right. And this might take a lot of imagination, as, for example, when you go to that particular house and, stand upon the garden of it, you need to be very imaginative, be able to understand what this is gonna come out. So how do you guys handle that part of the business?
Well, we take the designing stage. First, we listen to clients' inquiries, and the list of inquiries gives us pretty much an idea on what to design. And we initially prepare the 3D designs, we come up with the application project, and then we kick off.
Right. This particular project is what we have started already. So shall we go and take a look at
Let's
how
go.
it's going?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go upstairs. Let's start from there.
Okay, let's start from there. Maybe people who are watching may not make sense of where we exactly are, but we're on the side of the house and we're going to the main entrance of the house because we were at the
Basement level, garden level.
Basement level. All right, so take it from here and show us what you guys been up to.
Okay, so what we're doing here, this section is the kitchen section. With special permission from the municipality, of course. We've made an extension.
Isn't this hard to get?
It is
Look,
quite hard.
This particular part did not exist before.
No, it didn't exist before. If you may check, for example, the building in front, there is no
Right.
extension.
Right.
The reason we wanted to have this is kind of a brunch area or a small kitchen table where you can
we
have
go
your
here?
breakfast. Yeah, go on.
Right. I'm gonna start to imagine here. So this is for a breakfast table, and the reason why this is out is because of the view.
We wanted to use the view as much as we can. With a collaborative idea with the client, we came up with this solution, of course.
Right. Cool.
Shall we carry on? Yeah.
Okay, let's enter from the kitchen.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you remember a couple of months ago we did a shooting in this house? And I was explaining all about this void and
Right.
how would the mirror would be placed,
Right.
how the marble would be placed.
Right.
So pretty much half of it has been done.
This is the interesting part.
It is, very.
Yeah.
So the client with the architect of ours, they come up with an idea of having the bridge run the void, right? We are currently on the main gate, main entrance.
Do you remember when I first came in here? We had a door.
Yeah.
And upstairs was like.
Yeah.
Concrete.
Concrete.
It was concrete. And when I saw that first time, I thought this is such a shame
I know.
for a house like that with the ceiling height. There's nothing in it.
Yeah.
So you guys have knocked it down.
We knocked it out so that the mirror would reflect, and the other side of it is
Right.
quite interesting. And with the nice piece of work there, come on, let me show you.
Interesting.
Come on.
Let's go.
What you're looking at right now is an Armani Grey marble.
Well, how many pieces here? 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces.
Now, in order to do this 4-piece, right, it's a very challenging thing. So we brought a forklift and
Pulled it up and installed it that way.
We just left the last part of it so that we could tighten the ropes over the top. Then one by one, normally it was not going to be this height over one piece.
Right.
It was going to be half of it. So you'll be
Right.
seeing 8 pieces here instead of this. This gives a grandeur look.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
So help me understand here. This particular part, this particular space that we're looking at, this didn't exist before, right?
No, it didn't. No, it
Yeah.
didn't. So we knocked it out.
Right.
We've made one section here and another section on the entrance side, as you saw a minute
Yeah.
ago. And we created a bridge on top of it so that the passage could be opened into 2
Right.
sections.
We're gonna go upstairs in a minute. I don't want to give you guys a spoiler, but there's a very interesting master bedroom upstairs. Just wait for a second. Can you please make sense of this space?
Sure.
What are we looking at? This,
Can I
this
take you
place?
to a one corner specifically?
Please do.
Come, have a look. So this gives you a grandeur look of the living space.
Right.
What we're planning here is to have a lit sitting room here with a fireplace.
Right.
Okay. And then the dining room on my side, left wing of the house.
All the way at the back.
Yeah.
So this is gonna be.
Terrace. Do you remember this was iron, black, old?
It was very ugly.
Yeah, you may, similar something like this.
Right.
So we knocked all this. We're gonna prepare another version of, again, a kind of a good design of iron cover.
Right.
So that we can have a protection. Two months from now, or 1.5 months, let's say, you'll see a huge difference.
It's very exciting. It's very exciting. Show me upstairs.
Go on, let's go. Let's go. So while we go upstairs,
Right.
we've made these light angles.
Oh, so these cables
on
are for the
corners.
lights.
Yep, yep.
So
to reflect.
we
Change
haven't-
the windows.
Right.
Enlarge the sizes of it as well.
Right.
Yeah,
I remember the first time when I came in here.
quite thin.
Tiny
Yeah.
frames. To me, it was making a mockery of the whole thing. Why would you cover the house with everything and not leave, these spaces?
Yeah. So this is the bridge that I'm talking to you about.
Right.
So what we did is we opened this space, adjoined 2 sides, 2 sections.
This entire wall is going to be a glass mirror.
Glass mirror, yeah.
And it's going to extend from all the way down there
yeah.
to all the way up here.
Yeah.
So this is the thing that I'm talking about. This is why I love this idea to create a bridge here so that you have access between the sections and then
Absolutely.
double, triple maximize the light inside with the mirror.
Absolutely. So one of the bedrooms here.
You know what? Show me the master bedroom.
Yeah.
Show me
You
the
sure?
master bedroom. Right away,
All right,
show me the
okay,
master
okay.
bedroom.
We have a huge corridor of a master bedroom here.
Right.
Do you remember the marble downstairs?
Right.
We're gonna have a nice marble covered here as well, an Armani.
That's going to extend up here.
It's not going to extend, it's gonna be a separate, but we're gonna place a marble here as well.
Oh, okay.
What is the logic of this bedroom? The logic is to have an enhanced angle and have the bathrooms on the right side and the dressing room on the left.
Can you show me where the bed will be placed
Bed?
exactly?
Well, exactly like this, looking towards this side.
Yeah.
And it's going to be over here, and then there's going to be a nice TV setup with finishings right across to the wall.
See, this is my question to you now. When you look out here, there's a really nice view.
Right.
View out to the lake and everything. Why are we keeping this here as a TV? Wouldn't it be better to have a direct lake view from the bed up from the penthouse master bedroom?
I mean, it could, but first thing is the regulation. We couldn't really squeeze that much.
Okay.
We couldn't really pressure or push, so to speak, the municipality to have such a huge difference. That is going to change the outlook of the house, and it's going to be against the compound rules. And secondly, the client really didn't want to have that because client wants to have this nice privacy.
Okay.
And this bedroom already has a very nice terrace.
Yeah.
So the idea, what's important for him is the comfort and the space.
They wanted to keep the sleeping part private.
Absolutely. And also, on my left hand, you'll see a nice study room here, which has access from inside the bedroom and from the corridor.
Yeah.
Right? This is purely made for this master bedroom.
Right.
And then you come up to see the dressing area.
Look, I really like this dressing area because, it completes the whole picture, right? And Whose idea was that? Was that client's idea to keep this section entirely?
Well, to be honest, it was client's daughter.
You're getting dirty.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, this is how it goes when you're in construction.
Right.
It was their idea, and we enhanced a little bit by giving a few more ideas on it.
Right.
But the fundamental inquiry was to have a study room, dressing room, and a bathroom within a respectable amount of space.
It looks great.
Yeah.
And there is one particular trick, I think, about the study room, right?
Yeah.
Tell me what's the deal here is.
Idea here is not to make a feeling of a tightened study room. So we somehow needed to come up with an idea. And then after a few conversations back and forth, we came up with an idea leaving this space also open so that it can give you the sense of space more and more and more duration to study or work because there are no windows in this room.
Right.
Hence the solution.
Is there going to be protections here?
Of course, glass.
Yeah.
Very nice glass.
Glass protections.
Tempered glass. Yeah.
There's no bridge on this side.
No bridging.
Really nice. Do you want to show me another room or shall we go directly downstairs?
Let's go to the downstairs.
Don't walk past this here. This is the elevator space. Did it exist here or did you guys plan to
No,
put one?
it did exist here, but the idea was initially to have full glass.
Okay.
But the infrastructure didn't allow us. But yeah, this infrastructure was here already. We're gonna have a very nice smart home system.
So this is the ground level.
Yeah,
From this side
yeah.
will be basement, but like every house is terraced down, right?
Of course, it has a slope. The land has a slope.
The land has a
So they used the benefit of it and made the basement.
Okay.
Al, what I want to explain you briefly here. You remember the fireplace upstairs on the ground level?
Yes.
We're gonna have another nice fireplace here.
I think this is gonna be one of those modern ones, right?
Yeah, with liquid
Yeah.
type of a fireplace. We have a nice design of a kitchenette here as
Right.
well.
Okay, I get it. There's a lot more to explore in this
There are. I mean,
basement.
I'd like to show you the Turkish bath and the sauna side. They're all still on the process.
How many sections do we have?
Well, in total, 9 rooms we call it. Landscaping, a very nice one. We're gonna use a gray-black tiles inside the pool. And have a space on the right for barbecue with a nice dining setup. I'll be seeing you a month and a half from now, and we're gonna do one final shooting.
Right.
And we're gonna show you the entire house.
Already?
And then I'll ask your sense of idea, because you have the full vision, right? You're here ever since the beginning.
Right.
You're gonna have the full scope of understanding.
You guys have come a long way, and it's really amazing to see, a project, taking shape and flesh and bone, and it's separable right now. And as you're saying, a month and a half.
Hopefully.
If we can have the final version of it, then it's gonna be crazy. Kajin, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right. I'll be
you.
bothering you in a month and a half time.
It'll be my pleasure.
Thanks.
All right, take care.